Hi there, my name's Cam, and in this video we'll be doing an end-to-end implementation of the MC connector connecting Salesforce CRM to Marketing Cloud. We'll be following the Get Started guide on Trailhead today. There's a link in the video description below. However, I'll be using the Sales Cloud Lightning view, not Classic view, so the steps I'll be going through today will be slightly different to the instructions provided. So with all that out of the way, let's get started. The first step for our Marketing Cloud Connect is to check the prerequisites for the installation. The first thing we need to check is to ensure that we have the correct edition of Salesforce. We need to have the Salesforce Unlimited, Enterprise or Performance editions, or a Salesforce Developer Edition sandbox. We can check the Salesforce edition that we have by going into the setup screen and typing Company into the search bar and clicking on the Company Information menu item. Once the page loads, we can look for the Organization edition to ensure that we have one of the eligible Salesforce editions. The next thing we need to do is to set up the Marketing Cloud Connect system users. Now unfortunately, I won't be covering this topic in this video as I've reached the limit of standard users in my org. However, the instructions in the Trailhead module are pretty easy to follow. They give you a good explanation as to why it's important to create a separate API user in your CRM and Marketing Cloud. Note that for the duration of this video, you should be logged into the accounts that you want to use for your connector. Make sure that you are in your API admin account and not your personal account. So on to the next step in the Trailhead instructions, and our next step is to install the managed package. We can do this by clicking on the install link provided in Trailhead. And since we're already logged into Salesforce to check the edition in the previous step, the package should take us directly to the installation configuration screen. Here we can choose who we want to install the package for. I'm going to choose the install for all users option and then click install. Now it can take a few minutes for the installation to complete, so don't be worried if you get the app is taking too long to install message. Salesforce will send you an email to let you know when the package has finished installing. You can also verify the installation by looking for the Marketing Cloud Connected app in your Install Packages area of the setup screen. The next thing we have to do is configure the CRM settings, and the first task is to modify the page layouts. The first layout we'll modify is the user page layout. The instructions in Trailhead follow the classic layout structure, but in this video I'll take you through how to do it in Lightning. So to modify the user layout, we need to navigate to the setup screen and find the Object Manager. Here, we can search for and choose the user object. Once the object loads, we can click the User Page Layout, which takes us to the Layout Editor. On this screen, we can see all the fields and actions that can be added to a user page. From the Fields category at the top of the screen, we can drag the Marketing Cloud for AppExchange Admin and the Marketing Cloud for AppExchange User fields down into our page. I've chosen to put them in the Additional Information section, however you can put these fields anywhere you like. Once complete, we can press the Save button, which will save the page layout. Next, we can modify the lead page layout. Again, we can navigate to the Object Manager and search for the lead object, and then click on the lead page layout. Here, we can drag the email sends from the related lists area and the lead actions from the Visualforce page area onto our layout page. The Trailhead documentation provides some examples of where to put these fields. However, as before, you can place them anywhere you like. And finally, we can modify the contact page layout. After navigating to the Object Manager, we can search for the contact object, and clicking on the page layout, we can then drag the fields into the layout. The fields we need for the contact page are the Email Sends Individual, Email Results, and Contact Actions fields. Once you drag these fields onto your page, you can press Save. So it doesn't mention this in the instructions, but I recommend taking a moment now to navigate to a sample lead and contact record to make sure that those fields you just added are showing in the page layouts. Note that layouts can be configured to only show for certain user types. So if you're not seeing the fields you just added, you may have one of these user type roles in place, and it's best to check with your Salesforce CRM admin. So the page layout's all complete, our next step is to grant access to our Marketing Cloud Connect admin. We can navigate to the user screen by typing user in the setup search bar and clicking on the users menu item. Here we can choose the Marketing Cloud API user that you have created earlier and then click Edit. Once inside the user's settings, scroll to find the Marketing Cloud for AppExchange admin and Marketing Cloud for AppExchange user items that you added in the page layout step, tick both boxes and then press Save. The next step is to create some permission sets. We can navigate to permission sets by typing permission in the setup search bar and clicking on the permission sets item. Next, we can press the Create button and enter the details from the Trailhead instructions. Here it suggests using the name Marketing Cloud Connected App and the description of gives access from CRM to Marketing Cloud. Once the permission set is saved, we can click the Manage Assignments button and assign this permission set to the CRM API user and click the Assign button and then Done. Now we need to set some field level security. The field level security determines which user profiles are allowed to view or edit certain fields in the page layouts. We can navigate to the Leads object in Object Manager, click the Fields and Relationships item, then find the field called Email OptOut and click on it. Once the field loads, we can click the Set Field Level Security button. When the next page loads, you'll see the permissions table, which gives you control of what each profile can do with the Email OptOut field. In this example, I'm going to make sure that all profiles can view this field. However, only the marketing user and system administrator will have edit permissions. Once you've set your permissions, click Save. We can now do the same thing for the contact object, navigating to the Fields and Relationships, locating the Email OptOut field, and then setting the field level permissions as we require for this account. We also need to make sure that the Email OptOut fields have been added to our lead and contact page layouts. We can do this by navigating to the Object Manager, and then into your contact or lead object, then to the page layouts, and making sure in the fields section that the Email OptOut field has been dragged into your page layout. If it hasn't, you can do it now and then press Save. So that's all the configuration done in Sales Cloud. Let's now jump into Marketing Cloud. The first instruction is to create a Marketing Cloud Connect API user. Now again, I'm not going to cover this in my video for today as I've reached my user limit, but the instructions are pretty easy to follow. I do recommend doing this. The username of the Marketing Cloud account that you use for the connection will be used on all of your API calls. So make sure that you use a generic username such as the MC API user as recommended by the instructions and not an account that belongs to an individual in your team or your implementation partner. So the first thing we should do in Marketing Cloud is make sure that we're logged in to our MC API user, then go to our setup screen, and under the platform tools, we'll navigate to the Salesforce integration screen. Our next step is to make the connection between Salesforce and Marketing Cloud, and here we need to follow the Trailhead instructions very carefully. Firstly, we need to ensure that we are not connected to any other Salesforce CRM sessions. Once you're ready, we need to ensure that the Scope by User is not selected, and then we can click the Connect Account button. You're then taken to a login page where you can log into your Salesforce CRM instance, and then you'll see an Allow Access page. Clicking Allow here will grant access for the Marketing Cloud API user to the Salesforce CRM org, establishing the connection. Once the page refreshes, you should see the green success bar at the top of your screen, and your org details will display in the connector as well. Okay, so with the Marketing Cloud connection complete, let's jump back into our Salesforce CRM. Now don't worry about the Trailhead instructions that use classic view from here on. We'll be stepping through this in this video using the Lightning view. Our first step in Salesforce is to navigate to the Connected Apps screen. We can do this by typing Connected into the Setup search bar, then finding the Manage Connected Apps menu item. Here, we want to click on the Salesforce Marketing Cloud app, and when it opens, click the Edit Policies button. Here, we will simply follow the Trailhead instructions. Under the Permitted Users, select the Admin Approved Users as pre-authorized options, and then click the OK button when the warning message appears. On the IP relaxation section, we'll choose the Relax IP Restrictions, and under the Refresh Token policy, we'll select the Immediately Expire Refresh Token, then click Save. Back on the Marketing Cloud Connected Apps screen, we can scroll down to the Permission Sets option and click Manage Permission Sets. Here, we are going to select the permission that we created earlier with the helpful description of gives access from CRM to Marketing Cloud. It's almost like we did that to help our future self. Next, we need to complete the package configuration by creating a process automation in Salesforce. In the setup screen, we can search for process and then navigate to the process automation settings. Here, we need to click on the default user workflows search button, select our CRM API user, and once selected, click Save. And that's it. Our next step is to set some session settings. We can find this by typing session into the quick find box on the setup screen, and then click on the session settings item. All you have to do on this screen is scroll down and click the Save button. And now it's time to use the Marketing Cloud Connector Setup Wizard to finish the Marketing Cloud configuration. Choose the app selector from the top left-hand side of the screen and type in Marketing Cloud, and then click the Marketing Cloud item. When the Verify Remote Site pop-up screen appears, click the Verify Remote Site button, followed by the OK button to proceed. The next screen has the heading Marketing Cloud Connector Setup. On this screen, you're given the option to either choose the automatic setup or the manual setup. And as the passive-aggressive text informs us, it's generally better to choose the automatic setup option. After you click the Start Wizard button, you'll be shown a screen prompt asking to pre-install the default workflow user, where you can click Next. There's a few more screens you'll need to read and acknowledge before pressing Next to proceed. Once the prompts disappear, we can click the I agree tick box in the lower left side of the screen, and then click the Configure Marketing Cloud Connector button, followed by the OK button on the prompt. The next screen will read Welcome to Marketing Cloud Connector. Here, we can click the Connect to Marketing Cloud button on the top right-hand side. If your Marketing Cloud is still logged in and the token is still active, you'll be taken directly to the account settings screen. Otherwise, you'll be forced to log into your Marketing Cloud API user again. On this screen, we need to follow the instructions laid out in Trailhead. First, we tick the Email Send Type tick box in the Account section. Next, we tick all the options in the Sends section. In the Notification section, we can put the email address that relates to our Marketing Cloud API user. And under the Tracking section, you can tick whatever options are most appropriate for your instance. In this example, I'm choosing the Aggregate and Individual level tracking, as well as Campaign Member tracking options. Once these are all filled out, you can click Save. The next screen is the Business Unit Management screen. Here, we need to tick any of the business units that we want to be used for our sends in CRM. And with that step complete, it's now time to go back into Salesforce Marketing Cloud and integrate our API user. Once you're logged into Marketing Cloud again using your API user, go to the Users screen and click the API user. Under the General Settings, look for the Salesforce.com status and click the blue Integrate text. When prompted, you need to enter your CRM API user's name and details, and then click Save Settings. Once saved, you can return to your user's screen and check the status to make sure it shows as integrated. And that's it. You've now connected your Salesforce Marketing Cloud with Salesforce CRM. I hope you found this connector walkthrough useful. If you have, don't forget to drop a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so that you're notified when I release more Salesforce Marketing Cloud videos.